The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode.
The summer of 2015 at 10.
All right, welcome to the summer of 2015 at 10 on the Brandon Peters Show. It is Friday, and that means it's time for the music video companion series. This installment features a returning guest, and he's here for another summer from The Normies, and my partner in crime for poorly described movies, The Game, Chris Johnson.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Chris Johnson. I am 1/80th of the Normies. Just kidding. There's not 80 of us. I think there's 14 if you count correctly, or maybe there's 12. But part of the Normies crew. We do reactions over on the YouTube sphere. We also have a horror movie that we did back in 2020 that I wrote and personally edited and did the music for. I'm just pitching it out because I know that, we're on Brandon Peters' show and movies and horror movies. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. But yeah, we're going to be talking about music videos today, and I'm excited for some interesting reasons that I will be divulging through the episode.
All right, cool. First off, 2015. Tell us where Chris Johnson is in 2015, because I think that's a pretty pinnacle year for you.
Yeah. So 2015, the Normies were just getting started. Now, I wasn't there for the first couple of recordings. I joined later in 2015, like in that what's the winter is when I joined, and then became like a proper member right around then. So I remember 2015 really well. I also met my wife that year. So a lot of things happening in 2015 for me. I was cool. I was working. At a Sun King. I was enjoying it. I was having beer all the time. I didn't have a car, I don't think, so I was riding my bike. I was the most physically fit and physically unfit at the same time in my life. Not quite peak, but definitely a good time.
Gotcha. Pretty. Yeah. Sun King was like, that was during the boom of the craft beer.
Oh yeah, it was.
They've won. I feel like 2009, 2010 was where things started going, and then they just.
I was there when they had the senators there to help reform the law so that liquor stores could be open on Sundays.
Oh wow! Okay, that's an Indiana thing. Like
it's an Indiana. Yeah, I'm sorry. The rest of the world doesn't know what we mean, but some people know. If you're in the Midwest, I guarantee you, at least one of your listeners lives in one of those towns where it's like we can only sell liquor between the hours of 4 and 5:30 on Sundays. Yeah. That's the only time it makes sense. Okay, that's what the law says. We don't fight it.
Yeah, so it's funny because like I grew up here in Indiana, and then when I moved to Los Angeles, like I went to a liquor store or anything, got beer or anything on like a Sunday, and it just felt weird. And if I did, it always like felt weird. It was just instilled in me, and it's like there's absolutely nothing wrong with this.
It's just a little taboo. The first time I went to Chicago past the age of 21, I was in a CVS and I asked, it was a Saturday, but I was like, where's the beer at? And the guy looked at me and he's like, in the freezer. And I was like, you guys can have cold beer here? And he didn't even like that. He looked at me like I was a crazy person. I was like, okay, that's right. I'm from a place with weird beer laws. My bad.
Well, yeah. So for people who are not from Indiana listening, our beer laws is you can't serve it, like the liquor stores are the only ones who can serve it cold.
Yeah.
Like in the freezer. And then, but the exchange is you can't have like soda and water in the freezer either. You have to sell that warm. Like that. So dumb.
I don't want to confuse anybody here.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Backwards. All right. So the movies that we discussed on the Monday episode of this week, if you got any thoughts on them, I'm going to shoot them at you. Just
all right. Gotcha.
Give a few, go on a tangent, whatever. All right. The first movie is The End of the Tour. It's a Jesse Eisenberg and Jason Segel movie about real life story of David Foster Wallace and a Rolling Stone writer who went to interview him.
Just heard of it a few minutes ago when you told me about
it. There you go. It's a good movie. I will give that.
I like Jason Segel and Jesse Eisenberg, so I imagine
quite good. Irrational Man.
Have not seen it. You told me the premise, which sounds like a man who just wants to kill somebody, and I think the premise is cool. I'm not advocating for it, obviously, but it sounds like an interesting movie.
He's having troubles with impotency, and this gets
this will try anything but therapy.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. The Trainwreck, the Amy Schumer movie with Bill Hader and LeBron James.
Haven't seen it, but we talk about it at work often because I have a friend at work who's a huge LeBron fan, and he loves this movie. He says it's hilarious. The only downside is he says it for every movie, so I don't know if it actually is hilarious or not. I should probably just watch it because this is a Judd Apatow movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's one of his best, maybe his best because I mean,
Oh,
it
that's
does
crazy.
it
Oh,
does
damn.
go it does go a bit long like a Judd Apatow movie.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, this is gonna be the end. No, it's still a half hour left,
Okay.
but there's good stuff. LeBron is hilarious in it, and it's pretty good movie. I mean, because Bill Hader in the movie he plays a surgeon for like athletes and stuff, and LeBron's one of his
Ooh.
clients. So
Okay.
Amari Stoudemire's in the movie too. But it's a funny movie. My wife loves this movie. She like this will be one she goes back to a lot.
So my wife really loves Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I might have to put this one on there just because she never seen Judd Apatow movies and she kind of got
Oh
into them, and one we both haven't seen, so we can experience it together.
yeah, Forget Sarah Marshall's great.
The
I
movie
love
is
that one.
absolutely hilarious.
That was great. All right, and the big feature this week is
Ba, 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 ba,
you
ba, ba,
might
ba,
have heard
ba.
of it, Ant-Man.
One I can talk about. So, have seen Ant-Man. I remember when it came out, watched it when it came out, enjoyed it. I think it is, out of all the Ant-Mans, it's the best Ant-Man. It's funny. It was Marvel was kind of hitting its like peak of its like Marvel quippy shtick, and it made a lot of sense for Ant-Man. So Ant-Man has the comedies really well, like the part where oh boy describes the actions that are happening in the movie, and it's like super funny, and it was fun because you haven't seen a hero like Ant-Man, and I feel like he's the most like D League, but I don't know. Paul Rudd's got so much charisma. It's a good movie. It's funny. Out of all the Ant-Man movies, it's the best one, like undoubtedly. Followed shortly by two, and then way behind by three. I mean, I don't think that's going to be a hot take for anybody.
Yeah, no. I have a question for you. What do you think an Edgar Wright Ant-Man would have looked like?
I think that would have been fucking crazy. Edgar Wright, I feel like every time Edgar Wright pops up in the movies I've seen with Edgar Wright, like they're really good. All of the Cornetto trilogy, Baby Driver, like just I think that would have been really exciting. But Marvel at the time wasn't about giving the keys to people and letting them put their vision on it. But now for big franchises, we're on the other side of Andor,
Hmm.
season two with Terry Gilliam, not Terry Gilliam,
Tony Gilroy.
Tony Gilroy. And so like we're there, and I haven't seen Thunderbolts yet, but I hear Thunderbolts is kind of its own thing. And so like we're kind of getting to is it not its own thing?
It's good.
Okay.
That
But we're getting to a point where they're
you're
giving the
calling it
keys
by
to
a
people.
certain title, and that's not the title of the film.
Oh, that's
Wow.
not the title. I haven't even seen it yet. I'm not
Oh,
allowed to because of
how have you
contract, but
not run into a spoiler on what the
I
asterisk is?
haven't. God, sweet Lord, have mercy. I have not. I just watched Sinners
Wow.
today for the first time and
Oh,
got
I need your
super
thoughts
lucky
on
on not getting.
I need
Oh
your
God,
thoughts on Sinners, man.
you see
Okay,
this?
sorry, we're taking a
Good
Sinners
point at
break
that.
on this. We are taking a Sinners break on this because I love that movie.
Do you ever have you seen a movie that feels like that movie's written for you? Like this is what Sinners felt like for me. This Sinners and the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was like, oh, these movies that look, it's doing all the things that I've been talking about for my entire
Hmm.
fucking life. Look at it here. All of the points about religion, the points about music, all of that shit just hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. It felt like it's Dawn of the Dead because it's one movie at first and then it's a completely different movie. It felt like a little bit of Life, like the movie Life, because we just
Yeah,
recently watched Life. I was like, yeah, all that shit. Like yeah, I fucking loved it. It's kind of crazy that it's so good. Ryan Coogler, it feels like he's been working up to this. He's been, yeah, just, I don't know, man. Like it's, I'm like crazy
I
good.
and so that mid credit scene is amazing. Like
Yeah,
that is the most worthwhile, best like post mid credit scene I've ever seen in a
yeah.
movie. Great epilogue. And fun fact, wasn't in the original cut in the movie. It's a reshoot.
Ooh, it's a good reshoot.
It is a
Because
good
the whole
like.
time, my wife's like, "Oh yeah, that'll be our cosplay. That'll be our cosplay." And she walks in, and she's like, "Nope, that's our costume. Halloween, right there." And I'm like, "If I get a Coogee sweater out of it, yeah, fuck it, I'm down."
Yeah,
It's
that fucking it just oh my gosh, just there's so much in that movie we haven't even scratched the surface of like analysis and
oh
like we've
no.
gotten stuff, but there's gonna be a whole lot more as the years go by with that movie.
As I was watching, I just felt like, "Oh, this is layers, 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 layers." It
Hmm.
is what it is on the surface, but it is also so many other things, and it feels like. And this isn't to take anything away from Quentin Tarantino, but it
Hmm.
takes a lot of that kind of genre mixing
Yep.
and building off of the past and like that mixtape way but it's doing it in a way that's still like not super pointing to those homages. I feel like I don't know. It's like if you went and watch, you're like, oh, it's its own thing, but it's like, there's like,
Dude, that performance scene in the where it go,
yeah.
oh man, I was just like, whoo! Like, did you see it? Where did you see it? Did you?
We watched it. We did our reaction for it, so the internet gets to see my first and
Oh,
my truly first time ever seeing it. But
okay,
I want to go to IMAX. I looked it up. We were
dude.
gonna cheat and just go see it at IMAX and not
Yeah,
tell anybody. But when they re-released it, this was after it had been in theaters for such a long run. The
yeah.
only two seats available for me and my wife were at opposite ends of the theater because it was
Uh,
so full. Again at IMAX, I was like, I know
it's
this
it'll
movie's gonna
come
be
back in
great,
the
man.
fall. It'll
Yo,
come back, like that 70 millimeter downtown. Like it was all that scene when he starts playing. Like the screen was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, I was like, this is gonna go, and it went nuts. It was so good.
Yeah, man.
Oh
It's
man,
it's really, really fucking good.
the cracker in me even liked the Irish song
The Irish,
part.
bro, no,
I
because
was like, that was
all the folk
great.
music too, and
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, look, all the shit's based off of folk music. Isn't that great? Even
yeah,
when the white vampire dude was like, I didn't pick
yeah,
this religion, they fucking forced this shit on me. It's like,
yeah,
oh my god, Cook, let him go.
yeah.
I was like, it's and like the idea that the vampires are temptation, because when he's out there, he's like, look, for this one night, can we all just be one people? It's like, no,
Right.
we are all one people. He does have a point, but also he's on some sinister shit, and it's just like, yeah, man, the it's I just saw it today,
It's
and I know that I'm in still basking in the glow, but
it's
it's
the movie of the
so
year.
good.
Like, just it's
It's
gonna.
I want to
We're.
see what could beat it, but I can't imagine anything, man. It's
I
too
mean, there's a new Wes Anderson coming out this weekend, and I'm like, I'll. I don't think it hits like Sinners does. So
yeah.
nope.
I
I've
feel
heard that.
like the version of America that like I like to think about is it's hot, it's grimy. Like yeah, when they were like yeah, it's the same shit in Chicago but different. I was like no, this is it. Like this is it. Like when you because I'm married to a person for anybody who doesn't know who's from Czech Republic and she moved here and she kind of
Mhm.
had an idea of what America was and as we spent more and more time together I think she got a more fuller picture of America was and just this thing when they were like yeah you guys are from the South I thought you moved up to Chicago it's like no it's different and I'm not saying that I'm saying that there's what you think America is, and then there's like the bigger idea of it. And you get that from being kind of everywhere. And like
Right.
America is the hustling, bustling cities, but it's also the hot swamp ass South and then
Yep.
the arid desert. It's a lot of these things, but all the shit that brings us together is like the folklore, the music of it all, the people of it all. Like it's, yeah, it's great. It's a good
Yeah.
movie.
Or hodgepodge. All right. Cool. That's been Sinners chat because I'm gonna. I think I've talked about it with other people. Just like every time I have a podcast, like I want to hear your thoughts on Sinners because that movie rules so hard.
Yeah.
And now it's like Coogler's got to go back and make another Black Panther. I'm like, ah, it's like when Michael Bay, to a lesser degree, when Michael Bay made Pain and Gain. And I'm like, I want more of this.
Yeah,
I
let
want
him
more of
cook.
this
What is
shit.
this? This is interesting,
And he's
Mike.
like, I'm gonna go make Transformers again. It's like, okay, but then we got Ambulance, so
Yeah.
that's cool
Oh.
too. So,
I think I saw that
Coogler
one
will
in
be
theaters
back.
actually. That was a good one. Yeah. So that's all. And I've weirdly enough probably seen most of Ryan Coogler's movies since Fruitvale Station.
That's
And
yeah.
so I've just been kind of plotting along and been like,
I
yeah,
mean,
like I
it's
enjoyed the Creed, Black
Creed, and then Black
Panthers.
Panthers, and then this. Yeah,
Yeah. So they've yeah, I don't know. I don't know what more you can say. I want to see what's gonna happen during award season. Just
hmm
because it's gonna be controversial no matter what, and
yeah,
it's gonna be a part of the conversation, and then people will probably go out and see the movie even more.
right. I just yeah, this is it's an all timer in my book, for sure. It was like a movie that I was hyped for, felt like it was gonna be good, and even blew by those expectations. Like it
Yeah.
was so good. So all right, we'll move on to our music video,
Yeah.
which is "Hey Mama" by David Guetta, and
Woo!
it's the fourth single from his sixth album, Listen, which the song features Nicki Minaj, Bebe Rexha, and Afrojack. The other singles from that album were "Lovers on the Sun," "Dangerous," "What I Did for Love," "Sun Goes Down," and "Bang My Head." He had like a lot of
Yeah.
singles. This one peaked at number 8 on the Hot 100 and went 4 times platinum. It samples a 1949 recording of Rosie sung by a chain gang at the Mississippi State Penitentiary. Kind of, Sinners was kind of, yeah, Sinners kind
Yeah.
of
Hired
relevant
in.
to see. Y'all, you guys were all like, oh my gosh, he's going to talk about Sinners. All right, so there we go. First off, before we talk about the music video, what are your thoughts on the song?
So I've heard the song a whole bunch. This was in a genre or a time when a lot of this kind of music, I don't even know what we would describe this genre as. It's That is a really good question. I don't know. I like for what David Guetta and Nicki Minaj were doing here. I much more like the Calvin Harris Rihanna version of it. I still
Hmm.
don't. I don't know what to call the genre, but this one I enjoyed the song. I heard it a bit. It just never really latched on to me. This was when Nicki was trying her pop thing a whole bunch. I think this is right around that time, but that was cool. I mean, it's fine. It's like I don't know. And what's funny is that spoilers, I'll be on another episode, and I feel very strongly about that song, and I think that they're kind of similar in a lot of different ways. But
Oddly, yeah, it was weird. I
yeah,
didn't give them to you in that fashion, but it just happened when.
I think it works because this I don't. Oh, I really wish I had. I'm gonna look up while we're talking what we would call this genre, but. For what David Guetta's doing here, it doesn't quite hit because I do think that Major Lazer and them did it better, and I think that Calvin Harris kind of lived here for these 3 or 4 years and really did a good job at it. David Guetta, not so much. And I'm not a huge fan of Bebe Rexha either.
So I mentioned a lot on this series this summer, 2015. I'm not cool with music anymore as a as a person.
Yeah.
I've got kids. I just like at this point. I like what I like, and like when I hear these, like the other one you're gonna do too, it feels like this like hodgepodge of songs I've heard before being mixed
Yeah.
together in a way to sound like something new. And I'm not talking about like I don't know if it's sampling's not the right word, but there's probably
Well,
there's samples
eh.
in here. But it's just the style of like dance music to it um has a vibe, but then like it feels like three different songs I've heard before popped in
Yeah.
there or something. Like
This is also right after I stopped going to the clubs. What's it, 10 years ago? How old am I now? I'm 36. Now, yeah, I was 26 around. So yeah, I
hmm,
wasn't going out as much anymore. There's a whole genre of music for when I was going out that I think had more of a I know the music that you listen to when you were peaking, whenever you're doing whatever the fuck you were in life is the shit that like sticks with you. But
it's the
yeah, this doesn't
best. It's
quite feel like
better. The
yeah,
kids
right.
today don't
The
know.
dance music of my generation, it's all the same people are still making it. But yeah, yeah, this one it doesn't do it for me. And I also feel like, and this is after watching the music video too, and being reminded, like, oh yeah, it feels like Nicki Minaj is like she's like stapled to this project. She's like, psh.
Oh, when we get the video, yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah,
It really sticks out. No, like yeah, this song, like I remember it. I didn't know it by the guy's name, and I
yeah.
didn't know it by the title. I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, and it was not the Hey Mama that I thought it was.
Mm-mm.
But I heard, I was like, oh, I remember this one on the radio.
Yeah. And I
Uh,
remembered all the words as soon as I heard it too. Like it's as a pop song, like it's a pop hit. Like I 100%. I was like, oh yeah, no, like I know this shit as soon as it came on, and I'm singing along, but it's not.
mhm.
I don't know. David Guetta, he doesn't. He's got a hard time. Like I feel like he puts out a lot of music, and some of it grabs you and does like its job really well, and others like kind of don't. Like sometimes a David Guetta song could be a little robotic, in my opinion. It's like doesn't quite do it.
Gotcha.
Other times it hits.
I've probably heard others of his, but I'm not. I wouldn't know them. Like
Yeah.
if you told me the title, or you'd have to play them for me. I'd be like, oh, okay.
That's David Guetta.
I had that. Guess what? So earlier in this series, I had that with Jason Derulo. I
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah.
I didn't know him, and then I
Ah.
was talking to Terrence Johnson. I was just like, I'm old. I'm an old. This
Yeah,
wasn't like
I just don't know.
I know
Oh,
I
man.
probably know a billion of his songs. I just don't put them to him. That's probably he's like you probably know a bunch of Jason. Derulo. I'm like, all right, fine, fair enough. Fair enough. He's like, he was in Cats. Come on. I'm like, all right. So
He was indeed in
he had
Cats.
to be big time if he was in Cats.
That's
So
how it works. Yeah.
I
But
mean,
yeah, this one it's I don't know. I guarantee you the Kids Bop's version probably slaps. I should look it up.
oh yeah, we should
I bet
check
you this
that out.
song is
Yeah.
easy, the Kids Bop.
I remember a bud of mine, one of my friends at college, he had a comedy troupe, and they did a video for a kids bop with all like explicit lyrics. So
Nah.
they recorded.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, I bet the Kids Bop song is just the same version. They just change up a couple of Nicki's words.
Yep,
It's no wings and pizza, if you know what I mean.
gotcha. So the video, it's directed by Hannah Lux Davis.
Okay.
So she has done videos for Jason Derulo,
Nice.
Paris Hilton, Lil Wayne, Hilary Duff, Haley Steinfeld.
Paris Hilton
Back
did
to
indeed-
Sinners, right
Back
there.
to Sinners. Here we go.
Plus, Haley Steinfeld has appeared. She appeared in 2 movies during this summer of 2015, and the Taylor Swift video for Bad Blood. So she's all over
Nice.
the summer.
And quick question about her, because I think
Mhm.
you would. She was in True Grit, right? That's the right person.
That was where she broke out. Yep.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I was like,
Been a fan of her ever since. I like her work. She does good stuff. I like the Hawkeye show she was in. I enjoyed that one.
Oh,
Yep. And then
damn, bro, she is. I didn't even.
she's
Kate,
the
Kate
voice
Bishop.
of Gwen, Spider Gwen in
Yeah.
Spider Verse. Like she's crushing it. She's
All right,
always
plus
done
10.
a lot of work.
Plus 10, House Steinfeld.
Yes. So the Demi Lovato, Ariana Grande, Tate McRae. That's Hannah Lux Davis's videos, people she's worked with. And so this one, so I guess this is the summer of Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah,
So
it is.
this one fits, probably incidentally fits with it. It's people out in the desert. Well, describe the video, Chris.
All right, so guys, have you seen Burning Man? It's Burning Man, all right? David Guetta's at Burning Man. He's got a bunch of cool stuff, and they're doing fun things in the desert. I think they gave Nicki Minaj a call and they said, "Hey, Nicki, do you want to come to the desert?" And even though this is me assuming Nicki Minaj is probably in LA a lot, she's like, "I'm not coming to the fucking desert. Absolutely not. This sounds dirty and awful. Can you guys just green screen me in? I'll wear a cool desert outfit." And they said, "Sure." They got a bunch of cool dancers, people that are contortionists, popping and locking, and we're just gonna drive around the desert and do cool shit. As a person who's made music videos, I will say this: having a cool desert backdrop makes your job way easier.
Yeah.
I'll probably say the same thing for the next music video that I'm on because of almost the exact same thing but slightly different. The one when they switched to the all red though, it's pretty sweet. It's a nice visual. But yeah, they're in the desert doing cool stuff.
Yeah. The only thing I'm like, yeah, Nicki Minaj is definitely an afterthought.
Yep.
Possibly on the song and the video. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised.
but yeah, there's like cool vehicles that
Yeah.
it's Mad Maxing in its own way. Like it's like we're gonna take the idea of a Mad Max thing.
We've got Mad Max at home.
But like, yeah, they're not trying to match the color scheme to Mad Max. They're not trying, like, things look clean and
Yeah.
colorful here rather than torn and beaten. But it's got some really nice detail to it. Yeah, the color is very vivid.
Yeah.
Good cool costuming, things like that. But it's not a lot to it. The hologram Nicki Minaj, that's certainly something.
If I'm being super honest, this is the kind of music video I like when I was making music videos. I'd be like, oh, I want to do something crazy and cool and it'd be like Mad Max. And then I would make a music video and I would cut it and it would be like this. I'm like, oh, it's not like my vision, cool. But it's there. Like they've got a lot of super cool elements and they just kind of drive them around the desert, which is dope. Like the desert looks nice. It looks nice. I'm not complaining about that. I guess just in my mind, because I grew up on Michael Jackson, I expect a music video to have a story.
Yeah, I like the story ones too. This is a cross between like a story one and then like I call them the shopping mall music videos where it's just all style.
Yeah.
Because there's a more to it than just being like a, hey, we're all just here singing the song in a cool, stylistic filmed video. But this one's got costumes and all sorts of like effects, and
You can make your own story to this one. They're not going to give it to you, but like if you imagine, you can like
This one-
I could imagine something going on here.
this one is like taking a break from a bigger story or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
So-
fact, in Mad Max, when they go to the place that's all blue at nighttime, when they're stuck in the mud, it kind of feels like that, but they just extended it out a little bit and did their own thing.
Gotcha. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many views do you think this has had on YouTube?
All right, this is perfect. 'Cause I have it open on YouTube, but I'm not looking at it. So I'm gonna say, you know what? Let's account for all the chibis, the youngins that didn't been watching it. 500 million.
Wow.
I'm gonna put it way up there.
Wow. You're gonna put you call that way up there.
Oh God. Hold on, what? 500 million is a lot of views.
But not as much as 1.6 billion.
What the? That makes me feel crazy.
Massive hit. Yeah.
That's so many numbers. That's
That's
more
a
than a
lot.
phone number.
That's one where 1.6 sticks for the longest time because you got to get that up
Yeah,
to 2 billion. To 1.7 even takes forever to get to on that.
Right.
Yeah. 1.6
Every now and again, I feel out of
billion.
touch with the world.
So I have discovered, because there are music videos that this summer get these astronomical views.
Mm,
And I'm like, how? But I'm like, oh, they don't give a shit about the video. They just want to hear the song.
Yeah, we're in the internet era here, so
Yeah.
people to listen to it, they're just saying, yeah. You're doing a house party, you put on the David Guetta fucking playlist, you just let it roll. Like, wow,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have Spotify, but I got YouTube Prime, or we'll just listen to the commercials. In fact, when
Yeah.
commercials come on, everybody drink. And then when the music gets back to the music, we'll keep it going.
Boom. Yeah. Take a break from your dancing. You got about 30 seconds. Okay, we're back to it.
Yep.
Like, I hit skip. We got through it faster. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Look, people like the song. I would never take anything away from it. It's not exactly for me.
Yeah, this is not something I'd be like, yo, I'm chilling to this. I'm jamming to this. No, this isn't my wheelhouse either. But for some people, it is.
At least 1 point. No, it's not that many people. It's one person listening to it. It's 1.6 billion times.
Some college town was getting down to this on a Saturday night at the local pub.
Oh yeah,
that's
when you were in college. If this was the music you were dancing to, it's probably pretty fun.
Some
enjoying it.
Some karaoke DJ was playing this between performances.
Oh yeah.
So there we are. So yeah, is that all you got for this one?
It is, but I will also like to point this out to anybody who's listening to this. For any song that's from 10 years ago, this is what I encourage you. Go read the comments. Just go see where the world was at then. A lot of the comments are going to be super recent, but when you get down to the middle, the dredges of just people, it's kind of a time capsule in a weird way. It's not a time capsule that you'd expect, but it's definitely a little bit of one. Now, mind you, this one has 100,000 comments on it, so you'll have to scroll for a bit, but you got nothing else to do. I mean, what? You're already doom scrolling, right? Go do this.
That's a fun idea.
That's it, yeah. Other than that, go watch the music video. Give them one more view. Push them over the line.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on for this, and you'll be back here in a couple more weeks for another installment. But until then, where can people, stalk you and read your comments?
Oh yeah, if you guys would like to see what I do over on my part of the internet, you can find us at The Normies. Head over to YouTube and type up The Normies, or just go to our website, thenormies.com. where you can find all the fun things we do. We're a reaction channel. We watch a lot of movies. Actually, we've been big on movies lately. We watch a lot of TV. We're watching Sopranos for the first time. I managed to never have seen Sopranos, and I think it's surprisingly smart. Even though most of the people that tell me to watch it are like, it's fun, it's gangster. And I'm like, guys, this shit's on another level. You watch it?
It's really good. It's a very good show.
It is.
Like there's Sopranos, and then Sopranos, like the next, the torch passer is Breaking Bad, because I feel like they both fall in those areas.
My HBO show is The Wire, so I always about The Wire. And then watching Sopranos, like HBO at one point, I haven't seen Oz yet, but HBO at one point in time was really like, we're just kind of laying it down. It's just here.
HBO was, I mean, the first time I felt HBO had a massive misstep was John from Cincinnati. Do you remember that one?
I haven't even heard of it.
Oh yeah, it aired during like when The Sopranos was ending. Yeah, John from Cincinnati it had Ed O'Neill, pre-Modern Family. It was a weird show, just didn't kind of work out. But HBO usually hits.
They usually do, and I mean it's where you get the prestige is at your fucking 6 feet unders and all that. But anyway,
they do their own thing. That's why, Sopranos. That's one of the best television shows of all time.
And we're only at season 2, and I'm like, oh shit, this is.
So have you been to the college visit yet?
Yeah.
That was the first episode of Sopranos I ever saw, and I'm like, this is one of the greatest hours of television I've ever seen in my life.
Well, to tack on a little bit extra, apparently they had to fight hard for Tony to get to do that kill in that episode, and they were like, we have to make sure this guy's doing dirt, because otherwise people will hate Tony if he just kills a dude who's innocent for snitching. So they were like, we got to make sure, like, the dude, he has that conversation with those guys. He's like, I just want to kill him, and he's also still selling drugs out of the witness protection. So they had to do a lot to get. Apparently, Tony Soprano is one of the first big TV anti-heroes in the ways of Breaking Bad and shit like that. And so, like, they had to get him to do. They had to work hard for that episode. That was an important one. We learned that from our fans in our comments.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. I'm on the socials at Brandon4KUHD. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for additional material and the ability to watch us as we talk about these episodes. Next week on December 2015 at 10, Scott, Aaron, and I talk the Vatican tapes, Southpaw, Paper Towns, and the one we've all been waiting for, Pixels.
Woo!
All that and more as the summer of 2015 at 10 continues.
The summer of 2015 at 10.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.